going to show how to do a flat wash called a beaded wash. Sometimes you want a flat wash or a beaded wash as your first layer of washes before you build texture upon it. So the first thing I've done is I've taken a piece of paper, it's 100% cotton, and I've taped it to my board. Then I have put it on an easel at a slight tilt. You can use a tissue box, you can use a paper towel roll, or whatever that will put your board at a slight tilt. Now I will show you how to do the wash. The next thing I've done is I've taken a color. This time I'm using permanent rose for the sake of the video so that you can see the color being put on the paper. But I've taken it and I've mixed it into liquid form so it's nice and juicy. Then I want to test it to make sure it is the right value, because in liquid form you can't always tell if it is the right value once it dries. So I just test it, here's my little test strip, to see if that's the right value. For this exercise it doesn't matter really what value it is, but you may want it lighter just so you can build texture upon it, or you can glaze other colors on top. So now that I have this nice and juicy mix, I'm going to take my wonderful brush, I prefer a sable brush, and I'm going to start my beaded wash. And I will explain why this is called a beaded wash. So I start with this. I have lots of juicy mix in my brush. I will not go into water with this. I will continue dipping my brush into this mix. As I go along, you can see this bead of paint. It is being pulled down by gravity. Remember, my board is at a tilt. I am gently pulling this bead down. I can pull it across or I can pull it down. The trick to this is to just gently pull that bead with the tip of your brush. I am not using the side of my brush, I'm using the tip. And I'm barely touching the paper. I can go up and down, or I can go back side to side. I do not want to go up to this area and touch it again. If I skip something, I have to wait until it dries, because if I go up here at this point, I will create a bloom. I don't want that. I will continue on with this. Remember, use the tip of your brush. Sometimes if you use your brush like this, you might get streaks. So use the tip to pull that bead down. And I keep going back into here. I don't go into water. I am just going into my mix. Into my beaded wash, and I want to make sure that that bead is slurped up, or else it will come back and haunt me. What happens is the water is pulled up into this area and you get a line or a bloom. So I dry off my brush and I take the very tip and I slurp up that bit of paint. Just slurp it up. Then I leave it at a tilt to dry.